Okay, this is part two of looking at Anat and Anatolia and how it all works together. If you haven't seen part one, then go to the very end of this one, and I should have it in the top right hand corner, or just go to the site itself and then look up Anat, and you'll see it. Click on it, and then part two will come up in your top left hand corner. And so where we were here was talking about how in the Ugaritic cycle that there's have formed a triad known from the sculptures with the third goddess who was given the nickname of Kadesh, meaning the Holy One. And if we think about that and in the Bible idea of them having a Father, a Son, and then a Holy Ghost situation, that ought to ring true pretty well. But let's go farther into Israel here, for that's what's up next. Israel. Sorry this is so small to get it in there. The goddess name Anat is preserved in the city names Beth Anat and Anathoth. Now, Beth Anat is much like Bethlehem and Bathsheba and all the names with Beth, and we're very familiar with that out of the Bible. So where does this Beth concept come from? Anatoth, they say, seems to be a plural form of the name, perhaps a shortening of Bet Natot, house of the Anats, either a reference to many shrines for that goddess or plural intensification. I'll give you another one. Anathoth. Anathoth. How about that one? The ancient hero Shamgar was son of Anat is mentioned in Judges 3:31 and 5:6. Which raises the idea that this judge or hero may have been understood as a demigod, a mortal son of the goddess, but John Day 2000 notes that a number of Canaanites known from the non-biblical sources bore that title and theorizes that it was a military designation indicating a warrior under Anat's protection. Asenath, holy to Anath, was the wife of the Hebrew patriarch Joseph. It's going to say that again. Asenath, holy to Anath, was the wife of the Hebrew patriarch Joseph. Ding. In Elephantine, modern Aswan in Egypt, the 5th century BC Elephantine papyri make mention of a goddess called Anat Yahu, which is Anat Yahweh, worshipped in the temple to Yahweh, originally built by Jewish refugees from the Babylonian conquest of Judah. These suggest that even in exile and beyond the worship of a female deity endured. So in other words, they had female deities in their religion, and even after the Babylonian conquest, they still had them. Yes. The texts were written by a group of Jews living at Elephantine near the Nubian border, whose religion had been described as nearly identical to the Iron Age II Judite religion. The papyri described the Jews as worshiping Anat Yahu, or Anat Yahu, who is described as either the wife or Padudera, sacred consort of Yahweh, or as a hypostatized aspect of Yahweh. Oh wow! So here we have it where there's a ding in contemporary Israel. That's why I decided to use this article, because these type things aren't contested anymore. Enough of it's been out there, and there's enough scholarship behind it where it's just literally riddled right here with holes. You can see it. In contemporary Israel, Anat is common female first name. What? See Anat disambiguation. Well, we're not going to look into that. Philologist Anat Bekar, who herself bears the name, wrote the biblical Shamgar was rather a minor and obscure character, and of his mother Anat we know nothing but her name. That's strange. We know a lot about Anat, who was the mother of Shamgar, and Shams. Here it shows a picture of this blonde-haired guy going crazy. Shams is the sun, Shamash. Shamash is the sun god in the Sumerians. After there's Utu and so on, ends up being Shamash. And of course, these people are all sun worshippers, so that's way heavy into it. It's also just like Shamson, what you know as Samson, right? And that's the same type of thing, and it rolls over again just like Hercules and his 12 labors, and 12 is symbolic in the things they have to do, and that's all a zodiacal thing anyhow too. Let's go on with this. They say though, but Anat, we don't know anything other than her name. I'm guessing that's what a biblical scholar would say. We do not know that it was the name of a goddess in Semitic pantheon to which the authors of the Bible were strongly and vehemently opposed. Though it seems that some of our ancestors did at some times worship her. Maybe. None of which explains the popularity of the name in present-day Israel. No, it doesn't. To mine, the reason is likely to be found in complete accidental similarity tonight. Oh, it's just an accident. With the European named Anat. Oh, like Annette Funicello? And Frankie Avalon? Avalon. Frank. Yeah, this stuff kept being in my face when I was a kid, just watching these movies and stuff and people's names and stuff, and I'm like, gotta know what's going on, which appealed to Zionist pioneers coming from Europe and steeped in European culture. However, this hypothesis needs a thorough research in the Hebrew records from the early 20th century to verify or disprove. No, you don't have to do there. You can go back here and you go, well, they came into a land where this goddess was worshipped. They got her in here. That has to do with, oh, guess who's who? Guess what? People that they vehemently opposed in Phoenician and Cyprian inscriptions. Athena. So this is Neith. Anat is attested in a few Phoenician inscriptions from Cyprus. In Cyprian inscriptions, Chi 42, the Greek goddess Athena, Sotera Nike, is equated with Anat, who is described in the inscription as the strength of life, or Yuza Hayim. And that is also presumably the goddess whom Saint Cunathon calls Athena, a daughter of El, who is Kronos, mother unnamed, who with Hermes, that is Thoth, counseled El on making of a sickle and a spear of iron, presumably to use against their father Uranus, to castrate him and then set off the cycle. However, in the Baal cycle, that role is assigned to Asherah or Elat, and Anat is there called the Virgin again. What? I could go into tales of how women pull this thing off too, and some stories that go along with it, but let's just continue so we can get on with it. Possible late transfigurations. The goddess Ata, worshipped at Palmyra, may possibly be an origin identical with Anat. Ata was combined with Astarte under the name Atar in the goddess Atar Ata, known to the Hellenes as Atargatis. Oh, snap again. Ding. See, people are putting this together now and putting it out in regular articles here, and it's something that I don't have to go here, then look here and see where this guy says this. Okay, then go over here. They've got it on here, and people are saying, well, wiki, no, you can't just put crap in wiki. At the very end here, I'll show you these people that they have that are attesting to this in the notes. So if this origin for Ata is correct, then Atargatis is effectively a combining of Astarte and Anat. Yeah, well, it's because they had the other aspect already taken by somebody's name, so they're going to put it in here. Check it out here. It's also been proposed that Indo-Iranian Anahita, meaning immaculate in Avestan, and not, or a hit, or not unclean, is a variant of Anat, and is, however, unlikely given that the Indo-Iranian roots for the term are related to the Semitic ones, although through conflation, Avriti Surah Anahati So the full name inherited much from Ishtar and Nana. The two are considered historically distinct, though. In the Zohar, Anat is numbered among the holiest of angelic powers under the name of Anathiel, and so she has been turned into an angel. In Sefer Yizrah, Rabbi Kaplan mentions that this angel is the ruling Malach, or an angel, over Venus. And dang. Anna, a city in Iraq possibly named after Anat's honor. An ancient Egyptian religion is attached right to it and tells you about it. Yep, there's quite a bit of conflagration going on, y'all. And they all seem to have this same goddess that does the same thing, and she was a nice goddess till you pissed her off. Asenath, holy to Anath, or Anat, was the wife of the Hebrew patriarch Joseph. Got a picture? Yeah. Huh. Makes more sense now, doesn't it, people? Little bit. Little bit. Yep, she's got her own hieroglyphs. Everything. So, Osiris hat, Anatolia. Yep. So now we're fixing to look at the history of Anatolia, and they're going to roll through it. They're going to brush upon real early times, even earlier than I'm speaking of, and then come on past it. But now I feel like at least we've talked about an important part that they're just going to kind of go mumble and go right on past. For this seems to be an extremely important part of it. Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, and enjoy. We'll get on to, it's not really part 3. It's going to be a separate entity, but I will release it right after this one. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Leave a comment.